Hey friends, and welcome to this new video. Today, we're talking about Poppy Playtime, but specifically about Poppy Playtime Remake, the fan project that has been getting a lot of attention in the community. Finally, we have some interesting news. The developers have posted an official announcement on Discord, along with 2 images showing the new level of graphics achieved by the remake. I remind you that this project is not made by Mob Entertainment, so we're not talking about the original game, but a remake created by Occulta Studio. Even so, the promised quality is really high, and the developers have already shown, in previous materials, that the game will have a very polished, technical and visual level. Poppy Playtime Remake will not be just an improved version of the first chapter. Besides the graphical enhancement and a more horror atmosphere, the remake will include new areas and new puzzles that were not present in the original game by Mob Entertainment. This means that even those who already know the first chapter will be able to discover new experiences and challenges. It will therefore be very interesting to see how this remake compares to the original and understand what the differences will be in terms of gameplay, atmosphere, and puzzle design. Personally, I can't wait to try it out and explore every corner of the new areas promised by the developers. Before we continue though, I invite you to like the video if you're interested in Poppy Playtime news and to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss all the updates and theories about upcoming chapters and community projects. In the rest of the video, we'll analyze the released images, discuss the main novelties of the remake, and try to understand what awaits us in this new version of the game. So let's go on. First of all, I want to show you the first image. While I talk, I'll move the image and zoom in so you can see it better, so we can observe every detail carefully. What we see is a direct screenshot from the game, or at least from what Poppy Playtime Remake will be. The first thing that stands out is that this room seems completely new. It's not present in the original game by Mob Entertainment. Already this shows us that the developers want to expand the game world and include brand new areas, not just remake what we already know. An interesting detail is the grab pack. In this screenshot we only see the blue hand, while the red hand is not present. This gives us an important clue because it means players will enter this room before obtaining the red hand. We can therefore hypothesize that this is an area from the early parts of the game, or at least an introductory zone that allows us to get familiar with the grab pack. In this regard, the room reminds us a lot of the original grab pack room, at least for some elements. We can notice the presence of many PC monitors, just like in the original game's room. Among these monitors, one seems to be the one where we insert the VHS, so there are clear references to what we already know, but with a graphical and design rework. This makes us understand that the remake will not just improve the graphics. There's real work in rebuilding the rooms and maybe even reinventing some areas. Or, alternatively, this could be a new exclusive area of the remake, designed to expand the story and introduce new challenges before reaching the more familiar moments of the original game. In any case, it's clear that the developers are aiming for a more complete and detailed experience, where even the zones we know are reinterpreted and expanded, making the remake not only more beautiful to look at, but also more interesting to explore. This is the second screenshot. In reality, this is the same area we saw before, but with a slightly tilted camera angle and without the blue grab pack hand. This allows us to make a different kind of analysis, not so much of the scene itself, but of the graphic style and the visual details that the developers have focused on. To show you everything more clearly, I increased the brightness of the image so we can see every detail better. The first thing that stands out is a graphical quality that is clearly higher than the original game. The textures are much more defined and detailed. The walls, for example, are no longer just flat surfaces, but really look like they belong to a place abandoned for years, with obvious signs of decay and ruin. There are also natural elements that help make the atmosphere more realistic and creepy. We can see plants and weeds growing spontaneously, typical of environments left abandoned for a long time. This small but important detail helps us feel like we are really exploring a neglected and forgotten factory. Another element that catches the eye is the large window at the top. From here we can see the effects of the nightlight coming from outside, creating really suggestive plays of shadows and light. Even the floor has been carefully designed. The tiles are damaged and covered with dirt and dust, further giving the idea of an abandoned and eerie place. The whole atmosphere of this screenshot clearly conveys a sense of horror and abandonment, much stronger than in the original first chapter. Walking through this room, it would really feel like being in a factory left alone for years, with visual details that make the experience immersive and tense, as if every corner could hide something dangerous or unexpected. Looking at this screenshot and the other materials that we already analyzed, it is clear that the remake is not only aiming for improved graphics, but also wants to deliver a more intense and horror-filled atmosphere, transforming familiar environments into places that feel alive, real, and truly frightening. This is the official message that the developers posted on their Discord server. In fact, there is an official Discord server of Oculus Studio, where updates, news, and everything related to the game development are shared. It's always very interesting to follow these messages because they give us information directly from the developers. In this particular message, the developers announced that the development of Poppy Playtime Remake has reached its third overhaul and that this version of the game is the best one so far. This means they have worked on 3 main cycles of revision and improvement, and now the game is more advanced and polished than ever. One of the objectives stated by the developers is to get close to the quality of Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 official. This is very interesting because the community considers Chapter 3 the best one so far, both for graphics and for gameplay and horror atmosphere. If the remake manages to reach that level of quality, we could really have a very complete gaming experience, even though it is a fan project. Analyzing all the material that the developers have released so far, we can already see that the graphic quality is very high. From the released images, the textures, the attention to details, and the overall atmosphere, it seems that the remake can get very close to that quality level. Personally, I think this Poppy Playtime Remake really has the potential to reach the same quality as Chapter 3 official, and maybe in some aspects even surpass it, thanks to the new areas and new puzzles that will be introduced. In the message, the developers also mentioned some things about the marketing of the game. They announced that marketing will start in March, and the 2 images we saw today will probably be the last official images for this month. This makes us understand that for the next visual updates and details about the remake, we will have to wait until March. Of course, there is also a practical reason for this choice. In February, Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 will officially release, so it is possible that the developers decided to postpone marketing to avoid overlap between the 2 games. Looking to the future, we can imagine that in a month, the development of the remake will have reached an even higher level than it is now. Considering the pace at which Oculus Studio is working and the care they are putting into graphics and atmosphere, we can expect really interesting news when the next official materials are released. Poppy Playtime Remake is not just a simple fan project. It is a serious and ambitious work, aiming to offer a high-level gaming experience that can compete with the official chapters and surprise even those who already know the first chapter perfectly. Now we reached the ending of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video until here. If you enjoyed it, remember to like it, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. This way you won't miss any news, theories, or deep dives about the Poppy Playtime series. We will see you in the next video. Bye bye and see you soon.